We are starting our landscape weavings. So to begin, we have to use this template under our nice thick plate. So what I'm going to do with the template is I'm going to line it up, but I'm going to push it down so I can see these little lines at the top. And I'm going to make a mark with a pencil on, I call this the rim of the plate, the area that's flat before it goes down. So I'm just making a little mark because I'm going to have to cut in those spots. Now I also have some of those spots at the bottom of the plate, so I'm going to try not to like rotate it. I'm leaving those marks lined up, and I'm just going to slide the plate a little bit to get those bottom two. It is so important that you have the two at the bottom and the rest of them towards the top. Give that tracer to somebody else at the table, and when I cut, I'm going to cut all the way to that rim on the plate. So I get a nice deep cut. And I'm going to do that in all the spots at the bottom. Or at the top, sorry. So I'm at 3, 4, 5 cuts, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the top, and 2 at the bottom. So name is going to go on the back. And as I start to draw in pencil, I want to keep this little cut with those 2 cuts is the bottom, because that is going to be the bottom of our tree or the bottom of your hot air balloon, whatever you are going to weave. So with that at the bottom, I want to show space in my drawing. So on the board, we looked at space needing a horizon line and overlapping. So my horizon line is where the sky and the ground meet. So I'm going to have some hills. So I've got one hill at the bottom, but I'm going to overlap and I'm going to make another curved line. And notice how I extended over this part right here. 1, 2, so right now I have overlapping happening on the ground, and I'm even going to get a third one back here, just part of it. So what I've created with this overlapping is I've created 3 different spots, but I've also created a horizon line, because I have this line right here where the ground stops and the sky starts. So now I want to think about what's going to be in my landscape. I think I'm going to want a building. So I might have a couple buildings. Way off in the background, I might have a tiny little building or a house or a barn. Maybe over here in the closer to the front, I'm going to have another one. But this time it's bigger because it's closer to me. And in this one that's closer to me, I might see doors, I might see windows, I might see other detail. Do you notice how the top half of my plate is mostly sky? That's because your weaving is going to cover that up. So when I bring my example here, you can see that this weaving is going to go all the way up to almost the top of the plate. So it's going to cover up a lot of the detail in the sky. So you don't want to spend a lot of time on that. And if you notice, I also don't have a building right in the middle or some detail right in the middle of my plate, because that's going to get covered up. Most of my drawing is happening on the sides of the plate. I could have trees. So way off in the background, my trees might be little. As I get closer up front, I might have some bigger trees. And I might see the trunk of the tree. You could have some clouds up in the sky. You could have the sun. You could have a rainbow. So draw in pencil the details, and then we are going to use crayon to add color. And on the board, we talked about colors seem lighter in the background. So I'm going to color with lighter color in the background, darker as I get forward.